Hey guys, good morning. Today you get to see Mr. Brooks. We want to give Mrs. Willis a little break since she has been doing all the video recording so far. I'm still going to show you the standard algorithm today. So first thing I want to show you was make a connection to another strategy that you guys used last week called the box method. So my students seem to really like that one, so I wanted to share that same strategy with you and make the connection to the standard algorithm because I think that this really helps lead in. So I've already set up my first problem. So we have 478, divided by 6. And I know that 4 cannot be divided by 6, so therefore I'm going to focus on 47. All right, so 47 divided by 6 would be 7. And so 6 times 7 makes 42. Now, I now know that we're in the tens place here and we have this empty spot, so we're going to add this 0 right here, which means we're actually multiplying by 70 instead of 7. So just like before, we're going to subtract, and you will notice that we have now brought that 58 over here, and we repeat that process just like Mrs. Willis had talked about. So 58 divided by 6 would be 9. So I'm going to write my 9 up here. Okay, and we go 6 times 9 is 54. And then I subtract that, and I get 4. I used the wrong color there, so let me change that back here. All right, so when I add these together, I get 79, and I know that 4 cannot be divided by 6, so therefore that becomes my remainder. So 478 divided by 6 becomes 79, and remainder 4. Now, I really like this because essentially this strategy is just the standard algorithm, but sideways instead of vertically like the standard algorithm gets. So I'm going to start off. I like to use this right here because it helps me cover up my numbers. It helps me stay straight up and down, things like that. So if your handwriting is not so great or whatever, or if you have trouble remembering what numbers to focus on, this is really good. So I like to cover this up. So I think 4 divided by 6. Can I multiply 6 by anything to get 4? And I cannot. So I'm going to write a 0 here, just like Mrs. Willis talked about yesterday. And then we go 47 divided by 6. And I know that 47 divided by 6 would be 7. So 6 times 7 is 42. All right. And then I'm not going to add my 0 here this time. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm still just going to focus on these two numbers, or these sets of numbers here. So 47 minus 42 becomes 5. Now, if you remember, we had 420 here. If you'll see, this is actually in the tens place, so this really represents a 70. So that's why this strategy and this strategy are basically the same thing. Really, and there is also a 0 right there. Okay, so I'm now going to bring down that 8 and make it 58, just like we had here. So 6 times 9 would make it 54. And I get 4 left over. I know 4 divided by 6 can't happen, and I know that I have nothing else left over here, so therefore that means that that 4 becomes my remainder. Okay, so you can see that we still got 42 right here and right here. We got 54 here and here. The only difference is this one has you break them apart or expand the numbers. This one we're condensing so we don't have to add them together later. All right, so that's the end of this first video. Hopefully that was helpful. Please remember, if you want to go back and review anything, there are all those videos still left from previous class sessions, okay? So I will see you again in a second.